if you have clicked on this video, I am very sure that you're going through some amount of fear, and we all are scared of something. Fear is a very natural thing. We are all fearful about everything. You step out of the road, there is a fear. You might actually feel so scared of so many things, especially when you're doing a startup. So as you start your startup journey, you're always scared of starting a startup. By all stories, by all the things that you've heard in your life, you already understand that 10% startups succeed, 90% fail, which means the failure rate is so very high that it's very genuine, very fair to be scared of it. But there is a bigger question to think about. How can we deal with this fear? What is the way to deal with every type of fear? There could be a fear of fear of failure, fear of change, fear of not making money, fear of family, fear of society, fear of acceptance, and all of these things are technically there in our mind. Are we trying to say that these are not real? My answer is no, all of them are real because they actually exist. But then what is the smart strategy of dealing with it? Let's start thinking from an intellectual angle. I would want to bring reference to finance, and while we deal with finance, if you are investing in a stock market, we talk about two types of risks. And we talk about two types of handling those risks. One is called systematic risk, the other one is called unsystematic risk. Now, there are certain amounts of things which you can deal with, and there are things which you don't have to be scared of because there is a solution to certain things. And there are some things which are true for everybody and that exist for everybody. So we can't really do much about those things. For example, let's start thinking that if you start with a business, then your business can have a downturn because the industry goes down. The particular set of industry, the particular sector, there could be a government regulation which comes and the entire sector goes down. Now this is something which you can't change, so you should be scared of it. But on the other hand, let's say you are scared of making money. Now, can you actually plan that money portion? Can you plan the downside of it? Can you plan the lower side of the story? And that's my first strategy for all of you guys. When you're dealing with money, whenever you're looking at a scare of money, then have a backup plan. We suggest 3 levels of it. Have a best case scenario, have a middle case realistic scenario, and have a worst case scenario. By planning your money well, you can actually reduce the chances of failures by at least 30 to 40%. So have a good consultation. Start having good plans. Make a financial plan every month. Make a budget sheet. See how much are you following. Have a upper cap. Have a lower cap. Follow standard hedging principles. So hedging principles talk about diversifying your risk. If you diversify your portfolio, you will definitely have lesser fears. You would have lesser risk, and that's exactly the way to start managing your risk from a financial angle. Let's start thinking about social pressures. Now, can you start thinking about your backup plans? Can you start thinking about alternative careers? Have the thought that, okay, if this doesn't work, what am I going to do? How am I going to lead my life if things don't work out? What would be my next best strategy? What is it that can possibly go wrong, and how I'm going to deal with it? Now that's again an example of a diversified portfolio in your mind. You can mentally be ready and you can start smartly plan this out so that you can start thinking, oh, how I'm going to deal with the family pressure, how I'm going to deal with my financial pressure, how I'm going to deal with my career pressure. Number 3, the entire risk of doing business sounds so daunting to a lot of people who are trying to do it for the first time. If you're a first time entrepreneur or you're switching from a job, trying to do your business, you'll always feel very, very scared. But let's start thinking, let's compare it by numbers. If you're trying to say that, let's say you want to be an engineer, then the chances of your failures are again very, very high. Will you make it to a top engineering college? You don't know. Will you become a great doctor if you're trying to be a doctor? What are the chances? The chances are way lower. In fact, the numbers there are less than 1%. On the other hand, being an entrepreneur, the chances of failure is 90% and chance of success is 10%. This is a generic number. But if you go and plan it systematically, if you go about doing it in a systematic way, your chances of success can increase up to 60 or 70%. And that's something which I've seen across my entire life, that those who are at it, please understand that if you're saying 10% businesses succeed, 90% fail, which also mean that if you do business 10 times, fail, grow, there is almost 100% guarantee that you're going to be successful. Just that you have to try enough number of times. So it's okay to do this. It's not something to be worried about. Also, please understand the risk return graph, right? Please understand, higher the risk, higher is the return. Why are you doing business? Because you want to get greater returns. If you want to get greater returns, it's okay to take little extra risk, know that amount of risk, mitigate that risk. There is something called as mitigation of risk. And that mitigation of risk means plan it out better. Better planning, good mentorship, good diversification, good strategy, good structure is going to improve your chances of success by significant number of times. And that's all that I can suggest. So please don't be scared of things. Fear is nothing. Fear is equivalent to just risk taking abilities. Take systematic risk, take calculated risk, understand the risk. Do not take unsystematic risk, do not take random risk, do not be fearful of things, be planned for things. Think about what if something goes wrong, then what I'm going to do, and that's all that you're supposed to do. And this is exactly how I've seen a lot of startups succeeding in life, and they do wonderfully well because they plan things very, very good. If you like these videos, I would want you guys to please subscribe to my channel. I'm just trying to make an effort to actually share some of these real business concepts for layman. So hope you like it and enjoy these videos further. Thank you.